everyone, and welcome to St. Mary's High School, site of tonight's exciting game. This matchup between the STL
Shakes up. Takes up. Who shakes up? Who shakes up? Takes up. Who takes up? Who takes up? Takes up. Man, so let it face up. Face up. Let it push it.
As these two local rivals face each other for the first time this season. Both teams come in looking to get on the winning side of the record. Missouri obviously picked up a win last Saturday, a relatively low-scoring affair. They won 14-6, but it was a solid defensive effort for Coach Twan Galloway and his troops as they won on the road. Meanwhile, the STL Falcons fell to 0-1 in their first game, but it was a high-powered scoring effort for Charles Henry and his players. There was a lot of points scored in that loss, but ultimately the Falcons could not hold on as they fell 38-22. They had gotten it to, I believe it was 28-22 at one point, but then everything got away from them since then. So the Falcons will try to pick up their first win of the season. The Cyclones will try to stay undefeated here on the road. This is a home game for the Falcons, a road game, obviously, for your Missouri Cyclones, and we will see how things shake up. A lot of players have carried over from last season, which was a disappointing end for the Missouri Cyclones. They obviously had national championship aspirations, but it just didn't quite work out for them in the end. Just a little bit too much inconsistency from the Cyclones throughout the season. Defensively, they were pretty good all year long, but offensively, sometimes the drives would just stall. There would be turnovers that happened at the wrong time, and it just wasn't quite in the cards the way that ownership and the coaching staff had envisioned. But they have dubbed this year somewhat of a revenge tour as they look to get back to championship ways. We had a little bit of a storm come through. Nothing that's going to delay us yet. There is still some weather on the way, but we'll try to keep an eye on that for you. But as of right now, the rain has cleared off. It's somewhat dry out there. I'm sure the field's a little bit damp, so it might see some players slipping every now and then. Perhaps a fingertip catch will go by the wayside instead of sticking on those gloves that they wear these days. But the Falcons are going to open up with possession as the Cyclones are going to take the opening kickoff. As of right now, it looks like they're going to be keeping I was going to say maybe they're going to keep the scoreboard clock on the field, but it looks like we are going to have somebody operating that. Tyler Hack will kick it off. Malcolm Johnson, the player back to catch for the Falcons in the end zone. Falcons also have Antonio Gaines back just in case the kick goes a little bit astray. But Hack, otherwise known as Legatron, will give the football away. The officials at center field is getting his groove on. Not quite sure what the holdup is. Nobody's been told to leave the field for any kind of weather situation. 15 minutes is up on the clock. But there are a couple officials over here on the near sideline that having a word with the coaching staff of the Falcons. I swear this stuff always happens whenever you're doing a game solo. There's nobody to bounce anything off of. It's like, why are we waiting? So it seemed like we were going to get things underway. Hack is back to take the kickoff, but then somebody from the Cyclones coaching staff was out on the field. But now it seems like we've got only players and officials in between the lines. Once again, Johnson back for the Falcons. Just waiting on that first kick. So the whistle is blown, and here we go. Johnson takes the bouncer at about the 13-yard line, comes over here towards the left sideline, shrugs off one tackle, and now he's got a lot of space. Only Hack is in his way. He gets past the kicker. He's down the left sideline, and he will score. Just like that, 16 seconds in with a kickoff return, the STL Falcons are up 6-0. 14:44 left to go here in the first quarter. Not the way that the Cyclones wanted to open things up, but I guess if you want to try to look at a silver lining, at least they get the ball back pretty quick. A lot of personnel exchanging going on here for the Falcons. They might be going for two. So Kyle Ledlove is quarterback for the Falcons. He's going to set up in the shotgun, just outside the 18-yard box if this was a soccer field. He's going to have Titus Baker to his left. And the Falcons decided to take a timeout early in this contest. So Cyclones a little discombobulated to open things up. They got a good rush down the field, but excellent blocking, and then just that one little forearm shiver from Johnson on the only would-be tackler. It came right around the 30-yard line, I would say. And other than that, it was just open green space. But Tyler Hack was in a position where he could have made a tackle, but I mean, that's a 50-50 proposition at best when you're putting a kicker in that situation. So Falcons are still going to go for the two-point conversion. This time the running back, Baker, lines up to the right. Ledlove in shotgun. Right foot forward, calls for it. Going to throw left. Finds his man, and the two-point conversion is good. It was caught in plenty of space by Antonio Gines, and it is 8-0. So we've just gotten a little bit of a taste of why the Falcons scored so many points last week. Even though it was in a losing effort, they are definitely a threat when on the offensive side of the ball. We'll see what Coach Galloway can dial up for his team now as they try to answer. A bit of thunder rolling in from the distance. Once again, only 16 seconds off the clock on that kickoff return. Cyclones down 8-0. Starting to rain a little bit here. During the pregame, wind was blowing left to right, so that would have favored the Cyclones, but it's pretty much died down now. All the rain that is coming in is falling straight down. End over end kick fielded by the Cyclones. Oh, there was a little bit of a bobble, but it was rehandled as Jackson makes his way over towards the left hash marks, and he is taken down just shy of the 25-yard line. Looks like they'll spot it right around the 24, maybe just south of that. See where they put it, and it's going to be kind of in between the 24 and the 25. So 1st and 10 for your Missouri Cyclones as they try to find an answer. Cyclones led out onto the field by Jacob Understall. Cyclones with a big tight huddle. Understall in the shotgun, supported by Teron Thomas. Two receivers on either side. Man goes in motion, left to right. That's Deion Scott. Understall going back over towards the left. He underthrows it. Oh, that should have been an interception. Instead, it's just an incomplete pass. A drop there from Malcolm Johnson. As that would have been a huge dagger. This time Thomas lined up to the left of the quarterback. Two receivers on either side. Got to throw over the middle. That's caught just shy of the 40-yard line, and Scott is brought down. But that's a first down for the Cyclones. Move the chains. Chris Bradley, the lone receiver over here on the near side. Man in motion, back over towards the left. They hand it off to Thomas. He comes off one tackle, puts a shoulder into the second, and he gains enough for another first down. Ball spotted at the 47. And now they're moving the chains back, and that makes more sense. I didn't think he had gained 10 yards, but I saw the chains moving, and I was like, well, surely the chain gang knows what they're doing. 2nd and 2, though. 3 receivers to the right on the near side. Bradley, the wide man. Scott all by himself over on the far side. High snap. Doesn't matter as we've got a false start penalty. That's going to push the Cyclones back. And that's something that we saw early in the season last year as well. A lot of penalties on the Cyclones that really kind of put them behind the sticks.
Big shout out my man Moose. What's the word, my boy? That's my dad.
Owens, the running back, under stall with a man in motion. Reed goes back over towards the left. They're going to throw that way, but it's Scott on the receiving end. He's coasting up towards the first down. He takes a big hit there.
Big time tackle by Mr. Evans.
This will be dependent on the spot.
First down.
And that is a first down right at the sticks. So they'll move the chains. Another good first down there for the Cyclones. Just kind of chipping away right here in their first drive of the game. Understall hands it off. Owens right up the gut. He slides past the tackle, just lost his footing a little bit. But another big first down there. Owens charging up the field. Rain coming down steady here at St. Mary's High School in St. Louis. Hasn't dampened the spirit of the crowd here. Pretty decent showing for this St. Louis Bowl. Understall, a little bit of a pump fake. Puts it over the middle. He's got a man, and it's caught. Big lick taken by Rashad Lewis, but he holds on, and he is down near the 5-yard line. Cyclones have a man down way back near midfield. Looks like an offensive lineman. That's Rennie Falk. He's a little bit banged up. Falcons looking for a big goal line stand here as it'll be 1st and goal. Or no, they're outside. They're at the 15. I need my eyes checked. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 15 for the Cyclones. Under Stahl and Owens in the backfield. Scott out to the left. Reed and Lewis over here on the right. And way near the sideline is Bradley. Flag thrown. Offsides on the defense. So that'll move things a little bit closer. Same setup as before, 3 receivers to the near side. Understall takes the snap. He's going to run it himself, but he's going to run right into traffic. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like it's going to be a loss of a yard. Westerfield, one of the players in on the tackle for the Falcons, who lead by 8. Just about 10.5 left to go here in the first quarter. Low snap, going to go with the throw over to the left. Scott made the catch. And it's a touchdown. He was waiting on the signal for the referee. That ball was a little bit close to the turf, but Scott getting his hands underneath it, and it is 8-6. So Cyclones putting the offense back out onto the field, try to tie this game up instead of making it a 1-point game. Darion Reed, a late substitute, off. Baldwin and Cox in the backfield for the Cyclones. So they go with a bigger formation. Handoff right up the middle, trying to come off the tackle, and it's not going to work. Baldwin is going to be stopped short. So the score is 8-6 in favor of the Falcons. Some more weather rolling in, raining a little bit harder, darker clouds coming in from the left. And it looks like they're going to tell everybody to head inside. So we've got a weather delay. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time. Entertaining first 4.5 minutes, though, of this quarter. Both teams have scored. The Falcons managed to pull off the 2-point conversion. The Cyclones could not, and it is 8-6. Keep it right here on the Cyclones YouTube channel. We will be back once we are under no more weather delays. And welcome back. As we are just about set to re-kick things off here in the first quarter. 8-6 is your score with the Falcons leading the Cyclones. Cyclones drove down the field. Came up with a 10-yard touchdown throw, but unfortunately they were denied on the 2-point conversion. Still waiting on one of the officials to get out onto the field, but looks like they're all out there. We get a whistle, and Hack's going to kick it away. They go with a little bit of a pooch kick. Fielded at the 40-yard line, keeping it away from Johnson, and there's a good tackle back towards the 36. So an interesting decision there for Coach Galladay. So he had his special teams unit go with the short kick, not allowing the Falcons to get any kind of special teams momentum the way that they did on their first possession. So this is the first time we actually get to see the Falcons offense take the field other than that 2-point play. So in terms of when we kicked off, the game is basically about an hour old, but 10:16 on the first quarter clock. So there's been obviously a good gap in the action here. So Ledlove is the quarterback. Just about everybody in the CMFL takes the shotgun snap. Right on the money. Handoff comes over here towards the near hash mark. Gain of 2, maybe 3 yards. Looks like they're going to mark him down at the 47. 37. Fake handoff. Ledlove rolls out to his right. They're going to look for his man over the middle. Oh, and it is dropped. Malcolm Johnson, the man who had that big kickoff return, was the man who was open, streaking through the middle. He was in between the two defensive players for the Cyclones. A little bit over towards that right hash mark, but it just kind of went through the fingertips. And the Cyclones can breathe a sigh of relief. There we get a whistle, and there's a flag thrown by the back judges. There's going to be a penalty, looks like, on the Falcons. That'll put the ball 33. Coming on the blitz. They roll off the block. The pass is deflected. Oh, who's got it? It's been caught. Cyclones look like they might have an interception. Crazy play there as coming off the edge was Jalen Cowley. Put on the pressure on Ledlove. Threw one over the middle. It was deflected up into the air by Thomas. And the Cyclones end up with the interception. A little bit of jawing between these two squads after the play, but it is going to be Cyclones ball. .9:52 left on the clock here in the first quarter. Cyclones with a big interception as they have it on the right side of the 50. Ball's close to the 42-yard line. Cyclones with two split out on either side. Man in motion. Back to the far side goes Reed. It's taken. Pressure coming, a little bit of a pitch over the middle, and there is another interception back the other way. It is picked off by DJ Mitchell. Understall was off balance with somebody on his back, still decided to kind of throw it up, and that ends up giving the ball right back to the Falcons. So we've had two changes of possession here since the weather break. And the ball has probably moved only a total of 15 yards. Right now it's going to be spotted right around the 39-yard line with the Falcons back under control. Ledlove is going to be in the shotgun, running back to his left. Two receivers on either side. Bit of an awkward pitch. Ledlove gets it. He's going to throw one up, way up in the air. Oh, and the rainbow pass finds its man. As that is caught. Number 80 with the catch, not listed on the roster, but still a great play to just loft that one up and over the defense to where the receiver was basically going to be the only man that could grab it. Singleton in the back. Ledlove rolls out to the right. Threw it back towards the line of scrimmage, but that's going to be not much to speak of. Second and 10 coming up. Ledlove takes a snap, pressure coming. Oh, and the ball was tipped, almost intercepted. Still a good defensive play there for A.J. Christie, just to react and get a fingertip onto that ball. Obviously, he would have loved to have the INT come back the other way. Big third down coming up here. Falcons have the end zone in sight, but just barely inside the red zone right now on the 19-yard line. There's the snap. Ledlove surveys his options. Pressure coming right in his face. He gives a stiff arm. He's not going to get away. Forced out of bounds way back towards the 35-yard line. Not quite there, but that will do for the Cyclones defense as they come up with a huge stand. 7:55 left on the first quarter clock. It continues to roll. An interesting decision coming up now for the Falcons to see whether they try to kick this one or go for another offensive play. There was a penalty. And I won't even try to guess what it was. There were all sorts of hand signals given out there by the referee. It looked like he might have said offside and then holding and then roughing the passer. The Falcons looking like they're going to line up for play. I can't even tell where they're going to put the ball. Referee's having a long discussion about this one. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out where the penalty. I have to assume it was on the Cyclones because the play was pushed back closer to the 35. If there's going to be an offensive play run here, it looks like it'll be closer to the 20, 25. Now we've got pushing and shoving going on between these two teams. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail. Unfortunately, that kind of brings back some bad memories towards the end of the season last year for the Cyclones. As of right now, there's 7:08 left up on the first quarter clock. What an eventful first quarter we've had for you here this afternoon. Both teams had touchdowns on their first drives of the games. Falcons kicked things off literally with a kickoff return and then a 2-point conversion to go up 8-0. Cyclones came right back down the field with approximately a 10-play, 10-yard touchdown throw that finished off that drive, made it 6-8. It would stay that way as they failed to score on the 2-point conversion. And we had a couple interceptions right around the 40-yard line on the right side of the field, just off your screen. Now we had the Falcons with a great pass play over the middle that got them down to the 19-yard line. Good defensive stand to this point by the Cyclones. And it looks like the ball has been spotted at the 20-yard line. So, and the down marker still has 3 on it. So the only thing that I can guess is there were offsetting penalties, which still doesn't necessarily explain why the ball would be on the 20 because it started on the 19, but your guess is as good as mine at this point. So they're going to change the clock, I believe, to 7:33. So now they're still trying to figure everything out. We've got coaches from both sides trying to decide what happened here. The ball was spotted at the 20, which makes it now roughly 3rd and 12. So I don't understand how the math works on whatever penalties they handed out. Head official still trying to get things going. The white hat, he's trying to have words over here with the sideline judge. The Falcons have broken the huddle, I believe, about like 4 times now. So how we got here, I can't really tell you, but they're going to run a 3rd down play again. 3rd and 12 from the 20-yard line. Man in motion, comes over, bad snap, still fielded by the quarterback. That's Span with the ball. Throws one up towards the back corner. It is caught, and no, out of bounds. Potential interception there for Rodney Wiley. Unfortunately, the sideline judge said he didn't get a foot in bounds. Nevertheless, a stand defensively for the Cyclones. So that'll bring up 4th and 12. So Span stays in the quarterback position. Singleton off to his right. 2 receivers on either side. Man in motion. Crossing the line. Span rolls out. Gives a stiff arm to the attacker, but now he's got at least 3 defenders coming after him. Oh, and he thought about making the throw. He will be sacked back at the 42-yard line. A huge sack there for Cowley. So a turnover on downs. The Cyclones will take over. So now a chance for the Cyclones to kind of right the ship. They had that big interception on the other side of the half field and then gave it right back on the first play. We'll see what they come up with here this time. And now they're saying, well, what is going on? They're saying it's 3rd down and 30. How is it 3rd down? Here's the throw. Huge arcing throw. And it is intercepted. So now we have a turnover on downs. Excuse me, a turnover on an interception. This game is off the rails. I don't even understand what's going on anymore. What is Earth? 6:04 left to go here in the first quarter. Now the Cyclones have the ball. I mean, we're kind of making it up on the fly. I don't even know where it's at. Looks like it's roughly around the 12-yard line. So Understall stays in at the quarterback position for the Cyclones. 3 receivers here to the near side. Understall hands it off. They tried to go inside the tackles, and not too much room there. Under 6 to go here. Clock rolling at 5:52. Second down coming up, and they're pretty much going to say that he gained maybe a foot. So basically still 2nd and 10. Understall takes the snap. Good blocking. Looking towards Atkins here on the near sideline, and either that came out of his hand awkwardly or there was a deflection, but that wasn't even close to the receiver. Understall was on his backside after the play, so perhaps hit as he threw as well. So that brings up 3rd and long. A little too close to their own end zone here for the Cyclones. Clock continues to roll with 4.5 to go here in the quarter. Understall looking over the middle. That's complete. It's going to be close to the sticks. Looks like the Cyclones have a first down, and they will just by about 1.5 yards. Darion Reed, the recipient of the pass. So Cyclones get a fresh set of downs. Three receivers coming to the near side for the Cyclones. Another handoff, this time over towards the far side. Flag came in late after the run by Owens. So face mask against the STL Falcons. It's going to give a first down to your Cyclones. Pushes the ball north of the 40. They're going to spot it right around the 43-yard line. So a bit of good fortune there for the Cyclones. Obviously, nobody ever wants to take a face mask because that's not very comfortable. But it pushes the offense a little bit closer to half field. Receivers split even on both sides. Understall with Owens in the backfield to his left side. Falcons showing a little bit of a blitz. They do have a man coming up the middle. Quick pass over here towards the near sideline. Too high. Bradley was open if the pass could have been a little bit lower, but unfortunately that pressure up the middle was spotted by Understall, and the ball just kind of sailed on him a little bit. Second and 10 with 2:45 now less as the clock continues to roll. Owens split off to the right. They're going to hand it to him, and he is hit immediately. May have been able to push himself up for a yard. They're going to put that down at the 44. So 3rd and 9. 2:05 left here in the quarter. Scott, the lone receiver to the left, 3 over here on the right. Looks like the defense might have jumped. The pass over the middle, and we're going to get another flag, so it's kind of take your pick. We get offsides and pass interference. The pass was over the middle, intended for Rashad Lewis. Took a little bit of a bump. So pass interference is the penalty du jour. 1:29 left in the first quarter. So the ball spotted at the spot of the foul. So it'll be at the 44. First and 10 for the Cyclones. Clock is rolling. Cyclones trail by 2. Scott in motion here to the near side. Snap taken. Pressure coming from the near side as well. Throw over the middle intended for Scott. Oh, and that should have been picked off. Another rainbow pass that ended up in the hands of the defender. And fortunately for Cyclones fans, they lived to play another down as that one was dropped. Nothing that Scott could do to that, I should say. As he was the intended target, but that sailed him by a good 1.5 yards. Just went through the hands of the defender. Potential interception opportunity for Ricardo Young. And no stats picked up on that down. Cyclones trying to get the play off before the end of the quarter. 25 seconds left. Shotgun snap, handed off, up the middle, little bit of space. Gain of about 5 yards. Baldwin with a solid run there for the Cyclones. 10 seconds left in the quarter, and it looks like, unless they hurry up to the line, that'll just about do it for the first quarter of action. So we had just about a little bit of everything in that first quarter, and still the score ends up 8-6. Both teams scoring on their first drive of the game, and then a lot of action with no more scoring. Ended up through that rest of that first quarter. Teams will switch sides as the rain starts to come down again. Rain's starting to come down pretty hard here at St. Mary's High School in St. Louis. At this point, basically hoping that we don't get any more lightning delays, because that's what happened the first time. In football, obviously, those of you watching at home, you probably follow the sport enough to know that if there's rain, they're not going to usually call it off. I mean, maybe if it's like a hurricane-type downpour, they might, but rain in and of itself isn't going to do too much, but you get those lightning strikes, and they got to put player safety first and foremost. So the teams have switched sides, and we will start things in the second quarter. 3rd and 4. The Cyclones in possession, heading right to left. 2 receivers on either side. Understall throws to the right, and that is off the fingertips. Cyclones may get another down, though, because there's a penalty on the play. So the sticks. Well, the yardage sticks moved, but neither team has really moved, so I'm kind of wondering if we got offsetting penalties. Because unfortunately for the Cyclones, I believe the running back, Chris Baldwin, moved forward before the ball was snapped. So if there was a matching penalties, it would have been on the Cyclones for that, but now the Cyclones have moved forward, so it was just offsides. which gives the Cyclones a fresh set of downs. It's always so fun trying to guess what's going on here. Like the flag comes out and they've already made the signal, and then you can't figure out what the penalty was. Scott, the only receiver to the near sideline, the left. Handoff goes to Baldwin. He's got space. He breaks through 2 tackles, finally hauled down. He's inside the 30-yard line, though. They're going to spot him right around the 28-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down. 14:20 left to go here in the quarter. Cyclones driving. Falcons trying to get up, set defensively. Understall takes the snap right around the belt line. He's going to come over here to Deion Scott. He's got his man. Touchdown, Cyclones. Deion Scott got in behind the defender. A picture-perfect throw over the top. Touchdown, Cyclones. And that makes it 12-8 with the point after try coming up. Looks like the offense might be staying on the field for the Cyclones, so they're going to go for 2. Understall and a little bit of a wishbone set with Baldwin and Cox. Scott split out here to the left. He looks towards Scott, throws over, and there was a little bit of contact there, but they're going to say incomplete. So with the kickoff coming up, Cyclones now ahead 12-8. They've failed on 2 two-point conversions, but they lead by 4. 13:55 left to go here in the second quarter. That first quarter took so long, I forgot to switch it over in my brain. Falcons offense will hit the field for the 4th time in this game. They've had a kickoff return and then a 2-point conversion, and then 2 drives have ended with interceptions. Although that 3rd drive, I mean, I swear 50 plays happened in there and nobody really went anywhere. Thought it was a turnover on downs. Somehow it ended up being 3rd and 30. Again, they go with the pooch kick right around the 30-yard line. Still a little bit of space on that far sideline. Penalty coming up. Flag came in from the far sideline. Looks like it's going to be a hold. So the ball was close to the 40, but it's going to be moving backwards from the Falcons' perspective. Penalty taken from the spot of the foul, which was right around the 32. So I guess it would have been closer to the 33 because they're putting that ball pretty close to the 24. I don't know. Anyway, the ball will be 1st and 10 for the Falcons on the 24-yard line. Snap taken, handoff, left sideline, span. Jukin and Jivin managed to get away from a couple defenders but couldn't advance the ball north. And he's going to lose some yards as well. Cyclones sideline all sorts of fired up after that play. A good defensive stand on 1st down, not allowing Karan Span any place to go. Just about 13 minutes left to the first half. Ledlove in the quarterback. Johnson in the backfield. Ledlove spins away after taking an awkward handoff on the snap. Going to throw over the middle. Picked off! Cyclones with the interception. They've got it down to the 25, coming over here towards the near sideline. And finally pushed down towards the ground. That's a big defensive play there for the Cyclones, as it was picked off by Isaiah Holmes. So 3rd drive in a row for the Falcons. It ends off with an interception. Pressure was right in the face of Ledlove. He was keeping the man at bay with a bit of a stiff arm, but that still kind of pushed him backwards on the throw. And really the position for Holmes, he was kind of the only man that was in the vicinity. 12:33 to go. Clock stopped with the change of possession. Cyclones with 3 straight interceptions. So that brings the offensive unit back onto the field. Ball will be spotted right around the 24. Cyclones going with Cox, and I believe that's Wiley in the backfield. Hand off to Wiley as he comes just off tackle. Push that one up towards the towards the 20-yard line. Looks like it'll be just inside. Second down at about 5. Under 12 to go here in the half. Still the 2 running back set. Fake to Wiley, hand off to Cox. He comes off to the left-hand side. Not too much space. Maybe gave him a yard or 2. That'll keep it at 3rd and short. A lot of after-play discussions between these two teams. May have heard a roll of thunder out in the distance. Hopefully that's staying in the distance. Ball spotted close to the near hash mark. Going to keep it right around 2nd and 5. 3rd and 5, I should say. Trey Johnson checked into the game. Still the 2 running back set. Orlando Jackson, the receiver here on the near side. They throw over to the far side. It is caught up towards the first down marker. They have passed it. First down, Cyclones. 10:30 to go here in the quarter. Cyclones are rolling on the offensive end. Another first down throw over towards the right sideline. Bradley made the catch and was able to spin through the initial contact. Two receivers, Bradley and Jackson. Man in motion. Handoff finds Johnson. He's up the middle. Another good chunk of yards gained on the ground. Looks like the ball is on the 5-yard line. Clock still rolling, 9.5 to go. And it looks like a timeout was taken by the Cyclones. Twan Galladay wanting to talk things over, make sure they get a good play set up here with 9:28 left to go here in the first half. Cyclones lead 12-8, but as was the case in the first week, the defense has really been the story of the game for the Cyclones, as they have had 3 interceptions on 3 straight defensive stands. They capitalized with points on the second interception, not the first. We'll see what they do here with the third. Second and goal coming up for the Cyclones. Again, it's Dre and Cox. Morris is the big man just off the line. Understall looked like he might have been changing the play or trying to get somebody straightened out. Now Understall takes it, hands it off to Cox. He's going to go right up the gut and runs right into a wall of defenders. He'll be just inside the 5, so I'd say maybe 4 yards to go for the touchdown. A long 4 yards. Rain's starting to come down really hard now here. Johnson and Cox, running backs. Some screams came out from the crowd here, as there was a bit of a downpour. Off the left, diving for a touchdown, Cyclones. Cox may have been able to get the touchdown if he'd stayed on his feet, made a little bit more out of it. And he got the touchdown one way or the other. 18-8 right now with 8:15 left to go here in the first half. Rain coming down in buckets. What umbrellas there are have several people underneath all of them. Cyclones going to go for 2 once again. We're going to hand it off to Cox, crossing paths once again, but false start on the Cyclones. Johnson and Cox, the running backs, as this formation has had some good success on this drive. Understall takes a snap. He's going to throw towards the right flag, and incomplete. There was a little bit of contact coming out of the break, but I'm pretty sure it was within the 5 yards that was acceptable. So 3 touchdowns for the Cyclones and 3 missed 2-point conversions. Nevertheless, they lead by 10. 18-8 is your score. So not too much to do so far this afternoon for Tyler Hack, as he had 1 kickoff, and that was brought all the way back. And since then, he's been pooch kicking it right around the 35, 40-yard line. You have to assume that that'll remain the game plan. Although with the rain coming down as hard as it is, you might say kick it deep and see if they'll get a fumble. Hack going to go with the low line drive kick. That's been touched, so it is live, and then finally covered up right around the 30-yard line. So an interesting special teams day thus far for the Cyclones. They have been kicking it way up into the air. Now they kind of change things up, going with the line drive kick right along the ground. 8:07 left to go. It's getting a little bit difficult to see as the water's starting to kind of pool up on the windows. Looks like the Falcons are going to go with more of a wildcat setup as Spann looks like he's calling the play. Karan Spann's got 2 running backs, 1 on either side. Receivers are somewhat in tight. Handoff came left to right, ran into a couple defenders for the Cyclones, and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. The sky's actually lightening up a little bit, but the rain coming down in buckets. So not too much wind either, though. The rain is coming straight down. Perhaps a slight tilt towards the right side of your screen, but not much. So still trying to figure out what's going on here, because they're, over the PA they had said that there was a penalty, and now they're marking it off. So it was a personal foul on the Cyclones. So instead of 2nd and 10, it'll end up 1st and 10 with the ball moved up to the 45-yard line. Span stays in at the quarterback. Span hands it off. No, he faked it. Good fake. He's got space over towards the left sideline. And he is forced out of bounds right around the 41. Spawn came over towards the sideline to get a new play. He's going to stay in the quarterback after a big run there. Falcons trying to get on the scoreboard. They had a kickoff return on their very first possession and nothing since. 6:35 left to go here in the first half. Rain coming down even harder. You didn't think it could be possible, but you have to figure there's going to be a lot of running plays, and there's a high snap. Span takes it. He's going to run in and throw it over here towards the near sideline. There was a man close, so no penalty. The pressure came from the Cyclones quickly as they realized the circumstances. I thought there was about to be a penalty handed out there on the Cyclones as one of the linebackers was over here. I believe that was Teron Thomas talking to the side judge, and I think he took it seriously initially, but then waved it off. So I mean, the officials seem to know what they're doing, but none of us do. So it's 2nd and 15, I guess. And there's another high snap. Span comes over here. He's got a man over here on the near sideline. And they've blown the play dead. Wow. Making the catch was Thomas Mack. And he had slipped. And that's just a bad call because they play with basically NFL rules here in the CMFL. So he had a chance to get back up. But the officials blew him down thinking the play was over. So they're going to spot the ball where he went down. Now, I won't even try to guess what down it is. So there were 10 downs the last time we had this kind of confusion with the officials. Line judge is having a discussion, a rather heated discussion with the Falcons coaching staff, and understandably so. I mean, obviously, this is the Cyclones YouTube channel, so we have a slight slant to it, but I mean, I'm going to call it the way I see it. I mean, if the rules state that players should not have been called down, then that's just a blown call by the officials. And based on the spot of the ball, I think they're just going to redo the down. as they've put it back on the 47. So 2nd and 15 all over again. See if the Falcons can keep the snap low enough. They get it into the hands of Spahn, but he's going to chuck one over the middle. That's way up in the air. Oh, and that was almost a great catch there for Gines. He was looking for the interference call, but no flags on this time. That was an interesting play. And again, just one of those balls way up in the air. It seemed to hang there forever. The defensive back for the Cyclones jumped up for the interception. It actually sailed over his fingertips, almost fell right into the hands of Gines. But the collision jostled it loose just enough. And now the near sideline judge, again, he's got the flag out of his pocket. It's like, is he using that as a threatening device? Like don't make me throw it? So apparently there was a penalty that did get handed out on that play, because now the ball is spotted at the 43 on the other side of the field. So it's still second. I don't even know. They've got second down on the marker down on the field. This time Spahn gets a good snap. He's going to throw over here towards the near side. Oh, and there's an interception once again for the Cyclones. It is picked off by Devon Jenkins. A 4th straight interception now. .5:45 left to go here in the first half. Cyclones up by 10. Falcons in some confusion on their sideline. They need to get the defense out onto the field. But some of the offensive players are still wondering what's going on. Cyclones have taken the field. They're going to set up in their huddle. Understall with Owens, and I believe that's Wiley on the far side as the running backs. Nope, that's Johnson. Low snap, and we might have a turnover. The fumble is gathered up by the Falcons. So the wet ball is striking both teams. This time it goes back the other way, as the Falcons will have it right around the 35-yard line. I don't know if that was a design play trying to go to Owens, or if it just slipped out of the center's hands. And the Cyclones running back was the only player that could try to make a play on the ball. But one way or the other, it ends up back with the Falcons. So the Cyclones defense back out there after coming up with their 4th straight interception. Now they're in more of a position on the field where they have to worry about keeping the Falcons off the scoreboard. Rain has let up quite a bit. Just spitting a little bit, if anything at all. Another high snap. They're going to go with a pitch out towards the 40-yard on the far side. Now reversing things, coming over here towards the near side. And Johnson is taken down. All of that for maybe a 5-yard gain. And now there's penalties coming left and right. Oh, and something just got thrown at the official. Okay, well, this is pretty much This is pretty much done. I have to figure. I don't even know what that is. I think that was a trash can lid. It's all speculation at this point. Or no, that was somebody's helmet. That was one of the Falcons' helmets. So, I mean, not that it really matters. That's. Hey,
Come on, man. They need to just get off the field. They need to just get off the field, bro.
All players clear the field. All players clear the field. All players clear the field.
Come on, man. Stop. Them people got to start running out there, Mo. Damn. That ain't making no better.
well, unfortunately, that's going to be I mean, disappointing is understating it, but that's basically all I can say right now. Disappointing end to what was setting up to be a pretty good football game between these two teams. So yeah, I'm sorry, folks. Hopefully, the actual football you saw, you were entertained by it, and that was just a bad end to this game. Didn't even get to halftime. 18-8 was the score on the scoreboard. Unfortunately, that doesn't matter. Who knows what's going to happen with this game in the standings and all that kind of stuff. So, until the next time, I've been Todd Panula, trying to bring you Missouri Cyclones football. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good day, everyone.